They are taking chicken strips off the menu. Are you hearing me, Johnathan Schaefer? You're looking me in the eye like I'm making a big deal out of nothing.
I mean, I've never.
They are taking the strips off the menu.
I heard you the first time.
I'm here on the Frick Frack set, joined by my friend Johnathan Schaefer. He's
howdy.
Here. What he said? You just said howdy. Did you say howdy?
Yeah.
He said howdy.
Howdy
Guys,
is the ultimate greeting.
You're just gonna have to accept that Johnathan Schaefer says howdy. That's his
what
thing.
I do now.
That's his thing. Anyway, it is 2020. Also, big news. This show is now available on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
You're welcome.
You're very welcome. We listen to you. I know y'all are a bunch of broke youth pastors living on a $100 a week part-time salary.
Now, you know $100 is way more than they make.
I mean, I'm trying to speak faith into these youth pastors' lives, man, that they could maybe make $100 a week. And y'all that have Spotify, you can listen on there. If you're super bougie and rich, you go to the Gucci store. Maybe you're an associate pastor or something. Boom, you can listen on Apple Podcasts. And it's all links in the description, but we missed a few episodes. We missed a couple episodes this year due to some technical difficulties.
Yes. During the last recording of our episode, basically the beginning of January, I think it was. It was right before the fast started, which we're going to talk about a little later. But in the middle of recording, basically the hard drive just full on crashed. We lost all the episodes that we recorded so far.
The devil came against the word, which we were saying, because it's funny because we recorded like 25 minutes of a show.
Yeah, we were basically halfway. We were almost done with the show.
We were pretty much done. I was going to give an encouragement bit at the end, and then we were going to be done, and we were pretty much done, and then you looked over and you're like, because the camera stopped working.
The camera went off, and then the screen went completely blue
on the computer, and it
went completely blue. And I was
demonic.
like, "Yeah, I think everything's gone."
The devil can come against our set. He can come against our equipment. He can come against our screens, but he will never stop Frick Frack. In Jesus' name, Frick Frack
will prevail.
Will prevail. 2040, 2050, 2060, forever and ever and ever. Anyway, in 2020, back on the show. Thank you guys so much, as always, for your support of the show. It means so much to me. I know it's still new. We're still new. We're still figuring everything out. But it's so cool to have y'all watching. And it is now 2020. I just got back from a trip last week. But Schaefer, what's new for you right
What's
now,
new for me?
Yeah. Because I'm going to spill out all what's new for me.
Well, I mean, I basically been fasting, but we'll get into that.
We'll get into
I kind of want to hear about this trip more than anything.
I went on this great trip. My pastor, Dr. Bob Rogers, at our church, he took me on a trip with him to Knoxville, Tennessee. And it's funny because I grew up in Knoxville, Tennessee. People are always surprised to hear that. Hometown, Knoxville, Tennessee. So I went to Knoxville, Tennessee. We just had a great conference there. We ministered to some people there, laid hands and prayed for people. Great trip. No joke. So we were doing this one service that we like. It's like a prophetic event. Okay. It's like a service where everybody's involved. Everybody comes in and we're praying, believing God, and they're receiving revelation from God for the new year. It's 2020. And,
perfect vision.
Clear vision in 2020. Amen. So that's what's going on. So I was operating, in the office of a prophet. People were coming through in the line, and I was praying for everybody. And no joke, one of y'all, and it might be my oldest fan, is what happened. She comes down the line. There's like 50 people in this line. We're praying. I'm praying. Get to this lady. She walks up like this. No joke. She's got a cane. I look at her. I'm like, hey. She's like, do you make funny posts on Facebook? No joke. I was like, yep, that's me. That's me. You found your boy. And I realize now, some of y'all watching this are not 18-year-olds that I normally would assume are watching this.
That might be your oldest fan yet. Grandma Joe. We'll just call her Grandma Joe.
Maybe she's a patron on Patreon. She has her Social Security check, and she's sending it into Patreon.
Now, you make sure this gets to Taylor. Okay.
God bless her.
So what did she say?
God bless her.
What was she asking about?
She just asked, do you make funny posts on Facebook? I said, yeah. She's like, I really like the one with the flags. And I was like, okay. I was like, all right, that was a pretty good video, the one with the flags. That was pretty awesome. I will admit that was probably best content we've had. And that was actually made with Johnathan.
That was our first video.
That was our first video we made. And it was pretty cool. So we got back from that trip. We're still in the fast 2020. I posted a little bit about the fast on my Instagram, Facebook, and that kind of thing. If y'all don't know what a fast is, that's where you don't eat for a period of time.
Yes.
We're doing a corporate fast with our collective body.
Yeah, and that's what the whole last episode was about. We kind of delve into it.
We did. We
before
explained it.
the fast started, but now we're on day 12 of. As of recording, we're on day 12.
Day 12.
When this releases, we might be a little further into it.
Yeah.
But we're 12 days deep, and we're feeling it.
Schaefer, this is his first time. Is this your first time doing a 21-day fast?
I grew
You
up.
fasted. I know.
I've fasted my entire life, but when I've
fasted my entire life.
If you've grown up with Dr. Bob Rogers, you've fasted, and so but I would always just fast sweets, soda. I think the most extreme I ever done was I would eat after 3 p.m. But for me at the time, that was just eating after I got off class or out of school, and so it wasn't that much of a sacrifice.
Well, that's a half fast. Right?
Yeah, half fast after 3 or 5 o'clock. And so this was my first year doing a full liquid only, juices, water, maybe soups sometimes, but. Yeah, it's been a struggle, but it's definitely brought a lot of spiritual benefits as well.
Yeah. To us, it seems pretty normal, or maybe even a little bit like not entertaining to talk about fasting. But what I've realized from posting on social media is that there's a lot of you guys that have heard about fasting, but you don't know that much about it.
Yeah, they think it's like monks in the forest.
Yeah, you guys think it's something
that fast out of pure necessity.
Right.
No, it's in the Bible.
It's in the Bible, very much, and it's in the Bible almost as much as prayers in the Bible. It's very important. And we're doing and I get a lot of people that want to go on my Instagram and say, Taylor, the Bible says not to talk about fasting when you're fasting. That's true for a private fast. I'm not going to get on this bunny trail.
Yeah.
But for a corporate fast, that's where a lot of people are fasting. So I'm interested to know, by the way, if you want, put in the comments, how are you fasting this year? Or DM me on Instagram, tell me how you're fasting. I'm genuinely interested to know. Like, there's people doing Daniel fast. There's fasting social media. They're fasting. I heard of one lady, she was talking about how she's fasting sleep for prayer. She's straight up like cutting out 2 hours of her normal sleep time and praying.
All right. Well,
and I was like, that's interesting.
That's a bold take.
Next level strat or something. I don't know what I don't know, but okay, if that's what God's leading you to do. We're doing for straight up fasting, which is just not eating.
Because there's a difference between abstinence and fasting.
Yeah, it's two different things. It's one thing if you're just starving yourself. It's another thing if you're genuinely like seeking after God in your fast. And if you're doing that, you can fast a lot of different ways.
Yeah.
You can fast a lot of different ways. You don't have to just go into just straight up water only, not eating any food for 3 weeks, which is like hard mode. That's like expert level difficulty.
Yeah, that's boss mode. Like, that's very hard.
If you've done that, there's a guy in our church that went 40 days. He did not eat for 40 days. I shook his hand. He only drank water.
Only water.
For 40 days. And I was like, my man, you are a boss. You are
apparently your
next level.
blood, though, your blood after doing that is like the purest it can be.
Really?
Yeah, because I know a guy that did the similar thing, and he was like 68 years old. They did a test on his blood. The doctor said it's the purest blood he's ever seen.
Wow.
So it like really cleans your body out.
It does. It's
so if
really
you're
good
healthy,
for you.
that's the thing. Even outside of church culture, it's actually kind of seeping into just health gurus and healthy people are starting to do fasting just as like not unto God, but just for their bodies, just for the health benefits.
Yeah, so there's a lot of health benefits. Now, there's a lot of people that will say, "Oh, I have to take medications. I got to keep." Then that's all fine. That's all fine and good. There's different fasts for different people, but in general, if you could straight up go without eating, it's really special thing.
So, do you have any tips for anyone that maybe you can still jump in this fast, do it for 7 days, 3 days?
Yeah, you can still jump in. Look, you could fast at any given time. There's just a lot of people. Our church, we do it at the start of the year every year, and there's a lot of people that fast near the start of the year.
That's a good way to kick off the year.
Good way to kick off the year. You're getting closer to God. You're kind of making some sacrifice. You're kind of like making a point this year, I'm going to live for Jesus, that kind of thing. Bless God. But it's never too late to fast, and I will give you some tips on fasting. And I think one of the biggest things that helps me is, and this sounds crazy, but just get through the fast. Because I'm going to give you a preachery quote right now. I'm going to give you I'm full disclosure, preacher-sounding quote coming right now. It's not about perfection. It's about participation. There you go.
That's a tweet.
It's a tweet. Couldn't you see that on a graphic right now with like a guy beside it with a microphone? And it's got like the sign and then like a website under there, and then it says like
because God can't do something with nothing. You got to participate.
You have to participate. Amen. And if you participate, then maybe that will precipitate the presence of God falling in your. I could do it all day. I'm not gonna do it anyway. But as y'all get through the fast, let me tell you what I mean. Like I'm gonna at myself here. I'm gonna expose myself. I'm drinking a Starbucks.
I'm drinking Gatorade.
He is drinking Gatorade on a fast. Now his is better. His is sugar free. I've got a little bit of sugar in this. This is not perfect. This is not a great example for how you should fast. But I am getting through the fast.
You're getting through it.
I am getting through it. I am a part of it. I did not fall off the wagon and go and just start, just fall up and give up. And that's another thing too. A lot of people don't. I when I first started fasting, I would slip up. Sometimes you slip up and you don't even think about it.
Yeah.
Have you ever had that happen when you're fasting?
I almost slipped up the other day. We were doing a shoot at this salon or thing, and they had some chocolates there on the counter.
And you didn't even think.
It was like, you know how, like, muscle memory. I just went to grab it. And I, like, pulled my hand away. I was like, oh, I'm fasting. I totally forgot. So things like that, you just forget.
That happens. Well,
there's grace. We live under grace.
Yeah.
We're not under condemnation.
There is no condemnation to those who are in Christ Jesus. Amen.
It's really about the heart, It
is 100% about the heart.
If you're just dieting, then
you might as well go do Atkins or paleo.
Yeah.
Or what is that one thing everyone's doing where they're talking about they just pretty much only eat meats? What is that thing?
I know what you mean, but I don't know what it's called.
Keto. Y'all might as well go do keto or something if you're not going to have a spiritual aspect to it. You got to be seeking after God.
Yeah.
But I think my best tips is just get through the fast. Do what you have to do, and if you mess up, don't give up. Just get up.
And then jump back on the wagon.
Jump back on the wagon. You got any other tips, Schaefer?
This is my first year going full, and so I'm trying to think. Don't be too hard on yourself. Listen to your body.
Yeah. Sometimes it'll straight up say, like, okay, I get it, you're fasting right now, but, like, you need some chicken broth. Yeah. Like, straight up.
Like, listen to your body, but it's like a fine balance, because, of course, your body's going to want food.
Right.
But, like, and you want to deny, it's all about denying the flesh, Yeah. And so there's this middle road where, like, you listen to your body, but you also keep in mind that maybe if this is your first time, you should give yourself a little slack. So
yeah, especially if it's your first time, give yourself some slack.
Yeah,
for real. Which leads us into my next thing I want to talk about on this show, and I made a video on Instagram talking about it a little bit, but I feel like this warrants further discussion, and that is Chick-fil-A is making changes to the menu. Which I don't know how that affects y'all, but Chick-fil-A changing their menu affects my day-to-day life.
This affects your whole business model.
This affects my career. My entire career is affected by Chick-fil-A changing their menu. And they're not just changing their menu as in they're adding some really cool, like, new milkshake flavor.
Like maybe like a banana.
Banana pudding flavored milkshake, which we've talked about before.
Not that.
They can't, just press 2 clicks. They already have the recipe on file somewhere. They can't just put that back. No, they got to do something else. And this is what they're adding, guys. Selected cities right now, they are testing out a new Chick-fil-A spicy menu. That is right. They are adding spicy items.
Now, why isn't that a good thing?
It's a good thing, but hear me out. Because they're trying out spicy chicken strips. 100% here for that. I've thought forever, why don't they have, like, spicy strips? They have a spicy sandwich that I love, and I eat them as soon as I get off.
Just cut it up.
I love it all the time. Cut it up. Put it in a blender. Or just cut up the patty.
Yeah.
What you're saying?
No, I'm saying how easy is it to make spicy tenders? Just cut up the sandwiches.
It should be easy, but I know Chick-fil-A, they go the extra mile. Okay, they're not just gonna that's a McDonald's move. Like let's just take the same seasoning from the sandwich, throw it on some chicken McNuggets, call it a day.
No, they need the scientists in the laboratories running tests
24/7 for like 6 years. They tested the spicy chicken sandwich, they said, for like 5 years before they released that thing.
No way.
Real talk. I remember when it came out, they said they basically tried all these different versions of it. And I remember they're putting out spicy chicken strips. I remember when they first put out the strips. They had the strips, and no one bought them. They took them off the menu. Then they brought out new chicken strips, which are the ones we currently have right now. I thought they were really good. People were buying them at first, but I guess people don't buy them very much because they are straight up taking them off of the menu. They are taking chicken strips off the menu. Are you hearing me, Johnathan Schaefer? You're looking me in the eye like I'm making a big deal out of nothing.
I mean,
They are taking the strips off the menu.
I heard you the first time.
The strips. off the menu.
You gonna let me speak?
I'm gonna let you speak. I'm venting.
I couldn't tell.
Okay.
I have never gone to a Chick-fil-A menu and looked at that pleasant person in the eyes and said, I want chicken strips. There's so many other options. I'll take the chicken sandwich. I'll take the spicy chicken sandwich.
Guys, if you'd like to audition to be on this show and take Schaefer's place, please just DM me on Instagram. We will get that through immediately. You've never tried their chicken strips?
I cannot think of a time I've tried them.
They're really good, and I think it's partially my fault because I don't order them very often.
I forgot they were on the menu, honestly.
Which is why they're taking it off, because most people don't really care.
Yeah, because I think of the nuggets and I think of the sandwich.
I'm just saying, if you're going to have spicy chicken strips, maybe have regular chicken strips. Because you're going to there's going to be all this awareness come back to the chicken strips now, where people are going to be like, oh, hold up, they're doing what with the strips? Like, what's happening? What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? What's happening with the strips? That's what's going to happen. And then they're not going to have the regular strips. They're only going to have spicy. But I will say this about the spicy chicken strip, and this is what I'm really excited for. Spicy chicken strip biscuit. They are testing it on the menu.
Is that a breakfast item?
Well. It is a new breakfast item, spicy chicken strip biscuit, which makes me want to fire off every firework, alarm, and light and run through the city with a bullhorn telling everyone, guys, they're making a spicy chicken strip biscuit, because I promise you, it is probably the best thing on the menu.
That feels like it's going to... What time does their breakfast close?
10:30.
That feels like quite the way to start off the morning. Have some spicy chicken in you in the morning.
You just need your devotional, a little bit of the Bible, your coffee, spicy chicken strip biscuit.
Okay,
it doesn't get better. Have you ever tried the regular chicken biscuit?
I think so.
It's one of my favorite things on the menu. The Chick-fil-A breakfast is highly underrated, in my opinion. And I know I talk about Chick-fil-A a lot, but y'all don't seem to be getting tired of it, so I'm going to keep talking about it. Spicy breakfast, the Chick-fil-A breakfast is pretty good.
I'm going to play. I don't mean to play devil's advocate.
Oh, great. Here we go, guys. He's about to say something dumb. I can already.
No. Hear me out.
Go ahead.
Okay, there's nothing worse than a complicated menu. A menu, you look at it and you're lost. Okay, there's some menus you go there and they got 35 options and you're just standing there wondering, what do I get? Like you go to what's that chicken place that we like? Hear me out. Let me.
Joella's.
No, the other one.
Zaxby's.
Nope, the other one.
Cane's.
Cane's has 4 options.
Cane's is pretty good. Yeah, they do. Well, they have a salad. If you ask, it's off menu.
Off menu.
Yeah.
But it's real simple. Do you want the 3-piece, the 4-piece, or the sandwich?
Yeah.
I get where Chick-fil-A is coming from. They don't want to mess up the menu. They want to keep it concise. And I understand that. Why couldn't they make normal chicken strips a hidden menu item?
They could.
That seems like the middle ground.
Middle ground. I feel like if I were them, I would just straight up leave them, because you're going to have more people paying attention to strips. There's going to be people that didn't even know strips existed. They're going to be like, oh, you guys have strips? Yeah, spicy or regular. Like, that's going to happen. But I do hear you out on the big menu thing. Big menus are confusing, and having a smaller menu would make things easier. It's just, it hurts, bro. I remember when they put out the first chicken strips. Do you know when they put it out?
No, I don't.
They put it out.
Not all of us remember the chronological history of Chick-fil-A.
If I remember correctly, I cannot remember the exact year, but I do remember they put it out on Cow Appreciation Day. It was like right around Cow Appreciation Day or on it. My family went to like 3 different Chick-fil-A's because we were living in, where were we?
Yeah, you've lived a lot of places.
We were in Knoxville. And we went to like 3 different Chick-fil-A's because there was like all over town, but we were all around town all the time anyway. Went to 2 different Chick-fil-A's that got free strips. They were giving them away for free.
For free?
When they first put them out because they just wanted people to try them. And they were really good. And I like the strips. So it hurts they're coming out.
So it's tied up in a memory.
It's tied up in a memory as well as they're just good strips. Also, there's a grilled spicy chicken deluxe sandwich, which is coming out. I'm not a big fan of the grilled stuff, but grilled spicy? I don't know. It could be good. Maybe this is the start of my fitness revolution.
Maybe
the spicy
coming off the fast, maybe moving to the grilled rather than the
Grilled rather than the fried. That would be a good move. That'd be a good move. This grilled spicy chicken fans can expect the new grilled spicy deluxe sandwich, which features a grilled boneless breast of spicy marinated chicken with Colby Jack cheese. I do like the Colby Jack cheese. Lettuce and tomatoes served on a brioche bun. Is that how you pronounce that? Brioche?
Let's go with it.
Brioche
I mean, you're not really
bun.
An authority on pronouncing things.
You know what? You know what? All right. The grilled spicy deluxe bundle is also available as a catering option in the test markets. Okay, cool. Anyway, that's the Chick-fil-A. That is all the Chick-fil-A news that I have for today. But I felt like it was substantial enough. I needed to tell you guys.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I'm almost the unofficial spokesperson. I'm declaring myself the unofficial spokesperson for Chick-fil-A. They will never accept me, but I accept them.
Accepted in the beloved.
In the beloved, in Jesus.
So Chick-fil-A has been in the news a lot recently, not just because of their menu changes, but because of some of the things going on within the company itself. And I kind of wanted to get your opinion on some of the things that they're doing over there as far as their contributions and some of their stances recently.
Yeah, their nonprofit thing. Well, there was a lot of controversy with their nonprofit that wasn't given to Salvation Army.
Yeah, why don't you break that down for people that don't know?
Let me put it this way. So Chick-fil-A, whereas before, it's honestly a tax incentive, was giving away money to nonprofits, and they were giving away to nonprofits that a lot of people found controversial. Ones that maybe were anti-LGBT, or maybe they were anti-abortion, anti-Planned Parenthood, that kind of thing. So they were that was a little bit of a controversial thing. So Chick-fil-A, what they've done is they created their own nonprofit company, and they went in, instead of giving their money out to just all these nonprofits, they're putting it into this one nonprofit company, which will redistribute the money given to it in different ways. And honestly, a lot of the money is going to end up going to the same places. But a lot of people interpreted that as, Chick-fil-A isn't giving money to those companies anymore. And a lot of people, I think, felt betrayed a little bit by it because they felt like Chick-fil-A was saying, okay, we're backing off of our Christian values or something. Mm-hmm. The truth was, it was more of a money move than anything PR. Okay,
the PR wasn't handled very well.
Chick-fil-A has a history of not handling PR very well. If
because I was
honest.
under the impression that they just stopped giving to those
companies.
Organizations.
Well, directly. They directly did. They're putting it in their own nonprofit, but from what I've heard from people is that their nonprofit, it's going to pretty much do the same thing that it had before, and it reflects the same values as Chick-fil-A. It's just that it's Chick-fil-A's own nonprofit versus going and just handing out checks to all these different places. So it's going to be handled like that. Long term, it's a much better move for Chick-fil-A, and I understand why they did it, and I support them wholeheartedly in it. But there's some people that felt upset about it, but really you shouldn't be. They're going to keep being Chick-fil-A. If there's one thing I will say Chick-fil-A does very good. They keep the main thing the main thing.
Yeah.
They know what their main thing is.
It's all about the chicken.
We sell good chicken sandwiches. We are closed on Sundays. We have Southern hospitality. That's Chick-fil-A.
Our pleasure.
Our pleasure. It's Chick-fil-A. And
again.
As long as they keep that, they're going to be good for the rest of my life. They're going to be just fine, regardless of who they go give money to.
Well, I learned something today because I was a little confused, and I'm not going to blame that on me. I'm going to blame that on Chick-fil-A's PR
I
team.
would blame it a little bit on there. It's really hard to do. There was really no good route for them to do. You know, it wasn't easy in any.
Yeah, rock in a hard place to make that change because
to make that move.
Technically they have withdrawn, so it's a weird position.
It's weird. You really got to go. If y'all do some more research on it, do some more research, Google it.
But that's been Taylor News with all things Chick-fil-A.
All things Chick-fil-A today.
Tune in next week to see what happens. Will the Chick-fil-A sauce get a spinoff?
Do you know what they could break? If Chick-fil-A ever announced hey, we're adding a new sauce to the menu, I would lose it.
Dude, that'd be the whole Frick Frack episode.
That'd be the whole episode. I'd be like, what is this new
Can we
sauce?
please get test packets for Frick Frack?
Can I get test packets, please? They'd be like, nope. They'd be like, you're going to wait. I'd be like, dang, that's all right. Okay.
All right, well, I'm going to send this to you, Taylor, because I think you got a little word of encouragement.
Oh, I do. Yes. We are going into 2020. And listen up. I think that a lot of us in 2020 need a bit of an attitude adjustment. No, y'all aren't being nasty. Although I will say I did put up an Instagram post not too long ago that was pro-life. And some of y'all did get nasty in those comments.
Yeah, like what we supposed to say?
I don't know what y'all expected from me. Y'all acted like I've not been pro-life this whole time, but okay, whatever. But our attitudes will determine your attitude. I'm going to read y'all a Bible verse. Can I read you a Bible verse? Just right now.
Do it, son.
If you need to, hit pause, go get a tea, go get a coffee, Go get your Snuggie, go get a rope, and then come back. I'm going to read a Bible verse real quick so you can hit pause. Okay. There you go. Boom. Reading the Bible verse now. If you're back now, welcome back. Hope it was fine on your trip to the kitchen, in your socks. Hope you didn't step in any water while you were in your socks, because that would be bad.
That's the worst.
That would be bad. But the Bible says in Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 1, and it shall come to pass. I'm going to bring out the twang. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God. And can I tell you, Johnathan, Schaefer, what I like about that verse so much?
What's that?
It doesn't say, and it could come to pass. It doesn't say, and it might come to pass. It doesn't say, and it maybe shoulda, coulda, woulda, shoulda, maybe, possibly, probably come to pass. It said, it shall come to pass if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God. And I think that as we go into this new decade of 2020, and if you're fasting, if you're a part of our fast, keep fasting. I think we need to have an attitude of faith, an attitude of positivity, an attitude that something good is going to happen to us. I don't know if y'all know Oral Roberts. Y'all can think what you think about Oral Roberts, but he did say one thing that I really like, and I find myself saying it a lot of times, and that is, something good is going to happen to me
today.
But when you have
Sorry, I beat you to the punch.
You beat me to the punch.
I couldn't help it.
I'm glad you did. More people should know that quote. But if you have an attitude of that something good is going to happen to me today, can I make you a promise? Something good's going to happen to you today. If you wake up saying something good's going to happen to me today, and not just because this is some hippie happy Disney positivity thing, but because you have faith in God that loves you and faith in a God that provides for you and takes care of you and protects you, you're going to have something good happen to you today. When you put the day in God's hands, God is in control. He knows what's going on. He knows what situation you're in. Something good's going to happen to you. You have to have an attitude that says, God, I have faith in you. And when that happens, I believe he has blessing, increase, favor, and opportunity ready for waiting for me. That sounds, I know everyone's going to come out right off the bat. Well, Taylor's one of those real positive guys. Yes, I am. Thank you very much.
What? The comedy guy that makes me laugh, he's positive?
He's
what?
A positive person, I know. But I think that your ability to believe that God has good for you in some way affects your ability to receive it. Now, when God decides he's going to bless you, you can't do nothing about it. He just blesses you. You can't do nothing to reject it. But I think that if you have an attitude that says, hey, I'm going into 2020, I'm fasting, I'm praying, I'm seeking God, I've put it all in God's hands, I can confidently wake up and say something good is going to happen to me today. God is taking care of everything. That's how it goes. The thing is like, it's very hard to keep that attitude when difficulty comes up. The thing is, when difficulty comes up, I don't know how y'all are going to respond to that. Are you going to throw in the towel this year? Are you just going to quit? You just going to give up? You just going to straight up say, all right, well, I guess that wasn't God's will, and you're just going to walk away?
Maybe next January.
Maybe next January. Maybe I'll try again next year. Can I tell you what I think? I think God hides many times our greatest opportunities, blessings, and increase behind our greatest difficulties. I think he puts them intentionally behind obstacles and roadblocks, not to discourage us, not to get in our way and say, oh, you got to work. You got to come a little bit higher. You remember that commercial where they had the dollar bill on the stick? You got to jump for it. Not because of that, but because I think that sometimes what God has for us is so great and so big that we're not ready for it. And we have to change and develop ourselves to get around that roadblock or that obstacle to get what God has for us.
Because we've all seen people get something. We've all seen
premature.
We've all seen Disney kids. What happens when they get too much too soon?
Exactly. But if you will take that time and be in faith and say, hey, God, I know obstacles are happening. I know this is happening right now. I know this isn't easy. I know our equipment failed. I know this is going on. But you take that to develop yourself and say, I'm going to get closer to God in this process. I'm going to take this time. I'm going to seek God. I'm going to educate myself the way I need to be educated. There are practical things you have to do to get yourself ready for what God has for you. But if you do that, God has it ready for you. But I think it all starts with an attitude. It all 100% starts with an attitude of faith, and not only that, but an attitude of love, because what you make happen for others, God will always make happen for you.
Yeah.
I truly believe that. That is another thing I truly believe. I believe that if you are nice to people, people are going to be nice to you. If you give to other people, people are going to give to you. And that's an attitude that we have to have going into 2020. That's an attitude we have to have. Soapbox off. I'm stepping off.
I have one thought before you get off that.
Go ahead.
Step right back on.
I'm back on this.
You're back on.
Back on the soapbox.
Okay. The one thought I had is when you're talking about attitude. How do you see God? Do you see him as someone that just puts up with you, or do you see him as like a father that actually wants to bless you? Like, do you think that every time you mess up, God is up there frustrated with you? No. Or do you think he's a father that loves you, that wants to pick you up and wants to bless you? So I think it also has to do with, how do we see God? Do we see him as someone that loves us? And as a father, do we see him as someone that's just constantly frustrated with us? Which some people view God in that way.
They believe that. And the thing is, I used to believe that when I was about 15 or 16 years old. I remember one time I was praying about it, and I asked God for forgiveness for something. I can't even remember what I did. I did something stupid. I might have, maybe I exaggerated sometimes because I like to tell stories. Maybe I said something mean because I can be a little bit direct sometimes. Maybe something like that. I don't know. I said something. I said, God, forgive me for this. But I was kind of in an attitude that was very self-inflicting as far as self-condemnation goes. Mm-hmm. And I do remember God distinctly speaking to me, and this is what he said. This is what he said. He said, son, I'm not looking for excuses to punish you. I'm looking for excuses to bless you. That's what he said.
Whew, that's good.
I know that sounds very cliche, whatever, but God already paid the price for your sins with Jesus. Mm-hmm. He's not sitting up in heaven like, all right, let's see how Taylor messes up today. Let's see what he does now. Gabriel, Michael, get ready. We're going to whoop him today. No, he's up there. He's up there literally like, okay, let's see what Taylor does. Let's see what Johnathan does today.
Yeah.
Is he going to do is he going to stay in my will? Is he going to pray? Is he going to act according to the word? If he is, he's sitting here waiting. Oh, Gabriel, look what he just did. Look what he just did. Go bless him. Go bless him. Go bless him. Add that to the record. I want that on the record. He just helped Taylor out recording that thing. Put that on the record. Put it on the record. I believe that's what God does.
100%. And like during this time of fasting, that's an encouragement to fasting too, because God isn't looking at you eating the cracker at 1 a.m. and saying, oh, all right, well, he screwed it up.
Forget everything.
Everything he's done.
All the blessings.
No,
take them away.
He's looking at what you have done. He's looking at your heart. He's looking at your pursuit of him. And so that's really good, especially in this time of fasting. It's about the attitude and the way you see God and the attitude of your heart. That's 100%. Really good.
100%.
Well, I think that's basically, we're towards the end of the show.
Don't we normally have a fan comment?
We usually do. We usually end it with a fan comment, but this is my rant.
Oh, boy. Schaefer's got a rant. Okay, go ahead. I'm going to sip my coffee for a second.
All right. This is to all you people out there watching Frick Frack. Y'all have to step up the comment game, all right?
Okay.
Comment game needs to take a step up. This is what we need from comments.
What is that?
You do you in the comments. But if you want to be featured on the show, we need something that we can react to. Mm-hmm. So we need a question. We need a hot take. We need something that we can take to the show and have it with confidence and actually talk about it for, a minute or two.
Right.
So this is a call to action.
A call to action.
A call to action.
Comment on the show. Give us your thoughts. Give us your feelings. If anything in the show, you can comment about it. Or you can just have something really funny or witty, and we might talk about it too.
Yeah.
We want to feature a fan comment every week because I don't want this show to just be this thing where Taylor's yelling in a YouTube video. Like, I want to have like a conversation with you guys.
Yeah.
So go ahead, put that comment in. Me and Johnathan will react to it. We're going to pick one next week, 100% for our next episode.
100%.
For our next episode. I think that's just about everything. I will say one thing. This is being recorded on the 17th. I'm doing the first Patreon live stream for you patrons that support this show. I'm going to do a live stream. I don't know if Jonathan's going to be on it too. It's going to be at least me.
When is it? I haven't heard about this.
I'm hesitant to set a date, guys, because my schedule is not a schedule where I can just schedule stuff and be concrete. I'll probably let you know same day that I'm doing it. But for those of you who support on Patreon, and thank you to everyone that does. Your support is what enables us to be able to make this content. I don't get paid by YouTube. I do not qualify for YouTube monetization. Spotify and Apple Podcasts do not pay me. I pay money to be able to be on there.
Actually, it works the other way.
It works the other way. I pay to be on there. So your guys' support makes us so we can do this show. So if you haven't already and you want to consider supporting the show for as little as $1 a month, you can go to the links in this YouTube video or in my link tree on Instagram or Facebook. There's a support my content button. You can click that and become a patron on Patreon for as little as $1 a month. That supports us. Also, all my social links are in description. So if you're seeing me for the first time, hi, you can go to any of those links, or hearing me for the first time.
Be considerate.
To our
Spotify,
Twitter,
iTunes.
Facebook, Instagram. It's all there. And my friend Johnathan Schaefer has a dope Twitch live stream.
Yeah, we stream usually every Friday, and all my socials are in the description below as well.
So if you want to go follow his stuff, I will give you full disclosure. He thinks, and I quote, pink starbursts are better than orange ones.
That is an objective fact.
Do not, just be prepared for that level of thought and beliefs. if you're going to follow him. But you could check him out. His links are in the description. Thank you again so much for watching the show. I hope it's blessed you. I hope it's been a positive thing. If you've listened, I hope this has been a good thing for you to listen to. I'm going to go. Where should I go after this? I'm going to go home and take a nap. That's what I'm going to do.
That's another fasting tip right there.
Take a nap. That's
take a nap.
Take a nap.
So we're going to go both take naps.
We're going to go